Welcome back, guys. Thanks for joining us this week. Hopefully we're going to start wrapping up on our wiring harness, get that installed in the car, and that way that portion is done. I still have a little bit more wiring to do for the EGT probes and whatnot, but the goal is to get the engine harness back in the car. I've got everything kind of removed, just as a recap last week. We did remove the intake manifold. We did place the wiring where we wanted it to go, so that way I can cut for length. And I did start working on terminating the new harness, basically taking all of the electrical tape off, all the corrugated tubing off. Basically have a full factory wiring harness stripped down, and we're going to customize it to what we need. So let's get back. I got some connectors actually from Ballinger Motorsports in Virginia. I used to order a lot from them back when I was living in Virginia, just because honestly they're close, shipping was quick. Still like them, they have great prices, so hopefully those will show up tomorrow. But for today, I do need to lay the harness back in the engine bay. Unfortunately, I snipped one too many zip ties, kind of lost where the orientation needs to be. So we'll get that back in the car. We will re-zip tie where we want the breakouts to be. Hopefully we'll get the DR25 on there, everything but the connectors, and we'll get it in the car. All right, so this is what we're looking at so far. Like I mentioned, I got all of the electrical tape removed. I've got all the corrugated piping removed, or corrugated tubing. I started terminating this end. This is the passenger side, and basically working on the driver's side. So we'll get this wrapped up. I still have a few of these, I guess they're called like factory breakouts. They use electrical tape and some kind of like rubber putty. It's there to help with the vibrations, basically breaking those free and loose. So I don't want any of those. I am removing these two. I already removed a decent amount of them and re-terminated, and then used the adhesive lined heat shrink. So I still got one here, and one here. But for now, we'll get this put back in the car. That way we can use our zip ties to identify where we want our breakouts. And that way, what I should have done last time was measured how long each breakout is. So that way I knew how long to use a DR25 for. Keep in mind, we are using one giant trunk, kind of like up here, and then we're using these breakouts. So we'll have one larger setup of DR25, and then we'll have these smaller individual ones break out to where they need to go. So we'll get this back in the car, use the zip ties, we'll identify, we'll measure, and then we'll continue working on this.
Never break, always fight, never quit, do it right, play the game, win it life, have no shame, there's no time, feel the pain, live the grind, I could change, in my mind, pick a lane, commit and climb, the only way to win it life, I never miss, that's fact, taking big swings, put your hand to the bat, put me in the ring, you'll go out in a bag, cause I sing what I mean and I bring it to the mad light. Ain't got time to kill, I got time to feel. I took the red pill, I know life's short, so I wanna live real. But how's it supposed to feel?
All right, so this is basically how the harness is gonna lay. We've got the bulkhead connector up here. We've got the main trunk kind of following the fuel lines. And then we've got it coming up around. This is for the passenger side. Got the injector right there, AVCS. Other injector right here. So basically the harness comes out through the side like that. And then we've got the coil packs coming down. I'll probably fasten it right to this hole right here, so that way it's nice and tight. We got this here, which is the factory front O2 sensor. We're gonna repurpose this for the electronic power steering turn on. And then the signal, because that is twisted pair, that'll be good for the CAN bus. We've got the front section here. This goes to the alternator, also goes to the crank position sensor. And then this will be for the combo sensors, which is the oil and coolant. So this will be terminated into a DTM connector, which is mounted right off this stud. So it'll be sitting basically just like this. We've got the rest of the harness coming out to the driver's side. It'll be fastened to these fuel lines. We've got the front sensors right here. So that'll come out, plug right into the intercooler piping. That's for the intake air temp sensor and the pre-map. We've got the rest of the harness kind of piggyback behind the fuel rails. We've got our grounds breaking out right here, which is going to get bolted right to that bolt. So we'll sleeve that. That'll be good. We've got our fuel pressure sensor wire and flex fuel. So both connectors go one here, one here. So those will be good. The zip tie will signal our breakout. So all the other wires will be individual, which goes to the 2 injectors, AVCS, and then the cam position sensor. And then we also obviously got the breakouts for the coil packs that go down there, which I believe is these 2. They will snake behind this touch can line, so we'll be good there. And that's it. So basically just needed to lay out where we wanted the termination to end there. I may move that back just a little bit, so that way it gives our ground wire just a little bit more freedom. We don't want that too tight, so yeah, I may bring that back just a little bit, give us a little bit more freedom. But for now, well, I got these 2, so let me cut these also. This is for the throttle body. We've got our knock sensor and then our map sensor. So let me get the intake manifold back on, just resting in, and then we'll kind of signal that for length, and we'll go from there. All right, so made a slight revision. Pop these 3 wires out. This goes to the passenger side TGVs, which were bundled up with these wires. I've broken these out, gonna run them behind out of the harness, kind of at the same point that the passenger side cylinder head sensors come out. And that way I can just plug it directly into this sensor right here, just like that. So that'll be nice. Kind of loosen up, or not loosen, but shrink this stack up a little bit, so that way we can use maybe an 8-pin DTM instead of a 12, and then have those terminated right here. And then obviously the crank position sensor and the alternator wire goes right there. Crank position goes down here, so we should be good to go. Alright, so that's what we've got for our harness. We've got everything pinned out to the factory connectors. I created a back shell for the actual bulkhead and he shrunk that all with the DR25. I've got all the injectors, crank, everything is all labeled. You'll notice in the video that I was kind of wiping down the wires. That is to remove all of the rubber adhesive they have for the splices. So I got rid of all that, so all the wires clean, re-splice them, get everything out, booted, factory map, we've got the block pressure, DTM 12 pin, that's for all of the extra sensors, the combo sensors. Got the flex fuel all wired in, everything came out really nice. Got the heat shrink on the different splices for the DR25 to seal those up, and then we've got the zip ties to kind of keep it so the wires don't pull apart. So everything came out really nice. For the ground, I just re-terminated this with my own ring terminal. I just like the way this came out. It's a little bit cleaner than what the factory uses. But everything else is repinned, labeled, ready to go.